I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. We're now moving on to the new topic of scales, and the word scale literally just means step. And so you are literally just stepping up and down every single note. And so it will look like line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, or space, line, space, line. Literally every note is stepped upon and moved on from. Now, regardless of what instrument you play, it is helpful to visualise this on a piano keyboard. You can easily just sketch one out as a good visual aid. And so we need to make sure that every letter name is allocated. For one octave we'll be writing. If you were playing these, you could then repeat for as many octaves as is required. And so we are literally stepping up every note. However, a major scale, which is what we're going to be looking at, there are lots of different sorts of scales. There's majors, there's minors of different sorts, and we're just going to be concentrating on major scales here. And the major scale is made up of a mixture of full steps and half steps, if you bear in mind what we've learned about tones and semitones in previous lessons. It just so happens that the scale of C major steps from C through all of the letters to C without needing any changes of sharps or flats, and that will give us the correct number of tones and semitones. And so for now we're just going to write the scale of C major. So let's just have a look at exercise 1 straight away. And so C major will have every line and space allocated to step down every note in the scale. Descending just means going down, ascending just means going up, and of course C major must begin and end on C. And so as we're going to be going down, it's good to write a higher C, and then we can step all the way down without worrying about too many ledger lines. So in the treble clef, we know that the spaces spell face, F-A-C-E, so there's our C, and we can just then think space, line, so this will be the space. We're being asked to write a semi-brief, so no need to worry about stems or so on. So we've gone space, line, space, space, so the next line down here, space, and then the next line is the ledger line. And if we've done our job correctly, that means we should have every letter allocated. We should have C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, and we should begin and end on C. So C, every good boy. B, face, F-A, every good. G, F, every. E, one below E is D, and then we have C. And we know we've done it correctly because we've got space, line, every step has been allocated. If you're going from space to space, you know that you've missed one. So now we can try the ascending version. Now we're in the bass clef, and here's our C, a starting note, and because we're ascending, we're going up, we're starting quite low, and then we've got lots of room to step higher for the octave with not having to worry about lots and lots of ledger lines. If you started here, it would be kind of nigh on impossible with all of those ledger lines. So start low and then we can move up. And so here is our C in the bass clef, all cows. And here's the next note, D, good boys deserve. However, we don't need to worry about that too much. So we have space, line. So now we need space, next space, next line up, stepping up the ladder, space, and then here's the line, space sits on top, line, and there's our middle C. You'll find it easier in some clefs than others depending upon which instrument you play. If you play piano, you should be okay because we then have treble and bass clef, but it's easy enough to just kind of work it out in steps, and you can double check your notes. All cows, good boys deserve, all cows eat, there's our E. Good boys deserve football, all cows eat grass, G. Good boys deserve football, always, A. And then stepping up, B, just below middle C and C. So we've got a little bit of revision in our note reading and in our manuscript skills, and we're stepping up the scale system. So here we are, we're reminded to make sure that there's a note on every line and every space without missing. Otherwise, that would be like skipping a rung on the ladder. We don't want to do that. We want to step every step on the ladder system of the stave here. That's what we need to do. Here, they're trying to put it into practice, which is fab if you know the film, The Sound of Music. There's a famous song, doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, and so on. And this do, re, mi is just another way of describing the steps of the scale, because in the scale we've got one octave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're the different steps of the scale from 1 to 8. There's our octave. And for those that don't read music or are just starting in music, do is allocated to note 1, re is allocated to note 2, mi is allocated to note 3. You're not required to know this, however, it's just a really helpful and interesting sort of example of how music can be put into practice. So if you do get a chance to watch the film, it's very kind of old-fashioned, but none the worse for that at all. It's a really, really great film. It's stupendously long, so you need a good chunk of time to watch it, but it's very enjoyable. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.